to another edition of my broadcast journey. Thank you to all of those who have been watching and for all of your comments. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm doing this video not for likes and not for views, because I believe it's important to chronicle our journey so that people who are coming behind us can learn. So this is really what this is all about. So please also share on your social media pages, especially to anyone you know who's aspiring to get into radio, get into the broadcast industry. I think that this will really help them. Alright, so if you're just watching this first video, please go to the first two videos and watch the first two videos so you can follow the journey from the beginning. I think it's important that you follow the journey from the beginning. So I talked about in episode 1 how I got my job miraculously. It's an interesting one, go see, and it's just 6 minutes long. The second video was about my year-long internship as a youth corper at the radio station where I work, and that was also an interesting one, how to start from the beginning and how to intern. There's a good way and bad way to intern apparently. So go and watch episode 2. Now this episode is an interesting one because obviously after I finished my NYC, I was faced with a decision on whether to go back to Lagos or to stay in Ibadan, and it was it was such a huge dilemma for me because I'd come to love this radio station where I work, and my chairman at the time was such an amazing father figure. He would stop me at the lobby, ask me what my dreams were, ask me what my aspirations were, told me I could be the next Becky Anderson. I know, right? I don't know what he saw, but he really did see something in me, and he really encouraged me to be the very best. And that's what I loved about the radio station where I work. The fact that everyone at management level now, I saw as interns, I met as people at the very bottom, and I like an organization that can grow their people. I like an organization that can see the potential in people and harness that potential and make them all that they want to be. There's some organizations where no matter how hard you work, they'll always still go and bring somebody from the outside, as manager or as GM or CEO. But here, I found that, our chairman was like that with a lot of people. If he saw that you were committed, or if he saw that you had what it took, he would, continue to just, encourage you and, encourage you to, you got to, that, pinnacle of your career. And I think that's what they did for me. And so when I asked myself, why did I choose Ibadan? Why did I choose to stay in Ibadan? Because my parents wanted me to come back to Lagos. A lot of people also encouraged me to come back to Lagos. A lot of people felt like, there's lots more opportunities in Lagos. And it's true, to be honest. And Lagos is has just such a different culture to Ibadan. So for me, it was like, also I'm a nester. If you're a nester like me, avoid getting too comfortable. And I think that's a huge tip. So a nester is somebody that finds somewhere and they can just be there for a long time, and they find it hard to move. There's people who in their broadcast career have moved like 5 radio stations, and I admire people like that. But I'm not really like that. I like to find somewhere where I like the people there, and I just like to stay there, and I just like to grow. And while there are pros and cons to the two, for example, if you're someone who moves a lot, there are pros and cons to that. So the cons are that most people will think they can't take you seriously, that you're just going to up and leave at any time. But on the other hand, I think that it can also grow your career. Your CV looks great, even though on the other hand, HR people will say if you move too often, it just makes you look unserious. But I feel like it takes a lot of guts, to just move. When you stay in a place, the cons of people like me who have stayed in a place for such a long time is that you start to second guess yourself. You start to wonder, am I even good enough to, work somewhere else? Am I just here because they are used to me and this is just a, comfort zone? You start to second guess yourself, and also you start to lose touch with how to interview, how to compete. And for me, at some point in my career, I actually went back to Lagos, and interviewed at one of the top, radio stations, because I really wanted to see if I was a local champion, because I've been here for about 5 years or so at the time. And I was starting to feel like, okay, you need to really find out if you're, just in your comfort zone, or if you can actually still compete out there. And so for me, I actually did. I went to this particular radio station, I interviewed, and they really loved me, so, but yeah, I still came back. Anyway, so basically, So for me, when I finished my internship, I needed to choose Ibadan, Lagos, Ibadan, Lagos. And if there's anybody out there who's confronted with that dilemma as well, you really need to be very strategic. You really need to think. For me, I chose Ibadan because I felt like this was a place I could grow, you know, where I could grow, where I could blossom. I also felt like Ibadan was a place where I could make my mistakes, you know, and, you know, not be crucified too harshly. You know, so Ibadan allowed me to make all of my mistakes. Ibadan allowed me, it's a case of a big fish in a small pond as opposed to a small pond, a small fish in a big pond. So Lagos is a big pond. Everyone's competing and it's a dog-eat-dog world. Everyone's trying to compete, you know, for, you know, relevance. But Ibadan, if you're good at what you do, it's easy, especially in this industry, to shine. Even though now it's so saturated, there's so many radio stations. When we started, the station where I worked with was the first private radio station. So people were sort of tired of the, you know, regular radio stations that sort of were used basically as, you know, government propaganda, and they loved this fresh new radio station that was, you know, kind of urban at the time and was just not anti-government, but was just a voice for the people. So for me, I was very lucky that it was at the time where the radio station was sort of blossoming, and that I just arrived and stuff like that. So those are the things I thought about. So even though there are times when I still think, what if I'd moved to Lagos? But there are no times, you know, there's no time for regrets. You just are happy that, you know, you're still here, you're still relevant, you know, and that you can still do, you're still doing what you want to do, you know, because there's so many people who I remember who were popular at the time I started, and I don't know where they are. They're probably doing good somewhere, who knows, but I don't know where they are. So the fact that 12 years on, I'm still relevant, I'm still here, you know, my name is still mentioned, my name still opens doors, thank God. You know, it's something that I'm very joyful about. That's why for me, this is important to pass it on to people, the younger people, because I have a lot of people in my DMs. And those people in my DMs, if you haven't watched these videos, I'm side-eyeing you, because all of you mentor me people who then are not following my project and following, you know, you want me to have like personal time with you, but this is personal time with you. You know, so I hope you're watching this video and I hope you're gaining from it. So when I decided, okay, I was gonna stay here, I'm gonna stay in Ibadan, my parents were disappointed, you know, because they felt like, you can be this big star in Lagos. Lagos has, and maybe I could have gone to Lagos and I would have been huge, you know. When I look at some of my role models, like, yeah, my name could have been mentioned among those people, but I find that I can make more impact in Ibadan. It's something you have to really, really think about, because yes, you could go to a Lagos and you could be lost in the crowd. You can stay in Ibadan, you can make impact. There's so many things I've done, so many things I do, and you know, it's relevant, it's seen, it feels nice to be seen. It's seen because Ibadan, as big as it is a small town. It's a small town. So for me, choosing Lagos or Ibadan was hard, but I have no regrets. I'm glad that I did. And so you decide where do you want to go. You know, I actually had to have a list. Pros and cons. Cons of Lagos, you could get lost in the crowd. Cons of Lagos is, you know, you could make one mistake and you could be cancelled. You know, in Ibadan, you know, you can grow. There's room to grow. You know, the Ibadan people are so loving and so kind and they've embraced me. This is Aleko girl, embraced me so well and made this place home for me. You know, so much that I'm married here, have children here. Basically, y'all can't get rid of me. So yes, just to encourage anybody out there who's wondering, okay, you know, the glitz and glam of Lagos is calling my name, but you have to be careful, you have to be mindful. But if you believe in yourself and you believe that's where you ought to be, hey, go there, shine there, you will do great there. But Ibadan also, there's a lot you can do here as well, and you can be anything you want to be. Basically, don't allow a location determine whether you'll be successful or not. You could be in Ibadan and people in Lagos be calling for you. So there are jobs I got, you know, from being in Ibadan, and you know, I went to do in Lagos. Also, social media has made the world so much smaller. So if you're also relevant on social media, doing your thing, you're great at what you do, people will call you from anywhere. I've spoken in, you know, at events that are not even, you know, Nigerian events, just because of my social media relevance as well. So the dilemma of, oh, should I stay here, should I stay here? You decide, but also look at it holistically, as opposed to just, oh, in a shallow, oh, I'm going to go to Lagos because everybody's in Lagos and Lagos is where you shine and all of that. Think about it really, really carefully. Anyway, I hope that this edition has helped you in some way or the other. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video as well, and share. Let's share. There's love in sharing. Okay, share to all of the people that you feel would love this video, would learn from this video. And I hope that next episode you'll be back here again, where we talk about something very interesting about my broadcast journey. Follow me on Instagram at Giwa-One, and of course on Twitter as well. And yeah, subscribe. Catch you next time. God bless you.